The kitchen floor is cold, but the blood is colder, and I'm staring at the way my neighbor's cat is licking a spill of red Gatorade I dropped when I tripped, which is ironic because the actual blood, the stuff that belongs to the man currently slumped against my pantry, is a completely different, thicker shade of maroon. I should be calling 911, but my phone is dead, and honestly, the sheer audacity of this entire afternoon has left me feeling weirdly hollow, like I'm watching this happen to someone else on a grainy security feed. Okay, so to explain how we got here, we have to go back to Tuesday. I was eating a lukewarm turkey club sandwich from the deli downstairs, the one with the weirdly soggy sprouts, and just staring at my inbox waiting for the notification to ping so I could finally leave. It started with a Craigslist ad. I know, everyone tells you not to use that site anymore. But I was desperate for extra cash, and this guy, Greg, wanted someone to help him organize his late uncle's storage unit. It seemed mundane. I even checked the traffic before I left, thinking I'd be home by 6 p.m. for a frozen pizza. I didn't even notice the weird smell of industrial floor cleaner coming off his boots when he picked me up. Why didn't I just ask why he was wearing gloves in August? I mean, looking back, the clues were everywhere. But I was just thinking about the fact that I'd forgotten to swap my laundry. We get to the unit and it's buried at the back of this massive dim complex. It wasn't boxes of clothes or old books. It was just rows of these heavy gray plastic crates, each one labeled with a set of GPS coordinates. I asked him what was in them and he gave me this look, like I'd asked him to solve a calculus problem, and said something like, just stuff that needs to be moved before the tide comes in. Which made zero sense because we were in the middle of a landlocked suburb. I don't know why I didn't just walk away then. I guess I was just hoping the $200 he promised would clear before my rent was due on the 1st. Is it normal for a guy to insist on paying in physical envelopes? I just shoved it into my bag, ignoring the way the paper felt greasy. The first crate we opened had a collection of antique clocks in it. Hundreds of them. And they were all set to different times, but they were all ticking in perfect, terrifying unison. That's when the first weird thing happened. Greg's phone starts buzzing, this high electronic screeching sound, and he drops a crate. The plastic shatters and it's not just gears and springs inside. There were human teeth. Not like a medical display. Just loose, yellowed molars rolling across the concrete like marbles. I tried to back away, but he grabbed my arm, his grip like a vice, and he told me that I'd already seen too much and that I had to help him finish the inventory or neither of us was leaving the unit alive. Who says that, right? Like, in real life, people don't just say they're going to kill you, they usually just start doing it. I remember noticing a piece of blue painter's tape stuck to his watch face and wondering why he'd put it there. It was so distracting I almost forgot I was in danger. He forced me to start cataloging the contents of the other crates. It was all personal effects. Jewelry, wallets, driver's licenses. It was a graveyard of stolen identities, I guess. I think I counted at least 40 different IDs from 4 different states. I was shaking, trying to keep my head down, wondering if I could jump him if I used the heavy flashlight I had in my back pocket. But then he started crying. Not sobbing, just silent, heavy tears rolling down his face. And he starts apologizing to a Polaroid of a little girl he pulled out of a crate. He told me he was fixing the memories so they wouldn't fade. I don't know if he was having a psychotic break or if he'd been doing this for years, but the way he handled those items, it was like he was a priest at a funeral. Do you think a person can be evil if they're genuinely mourning the things they've stolen? That question sat in my brain for hours while we worked. Every time I tried to reach for my phone, he'd tap his knife against the table. Not a threat, just a reminder. I just wanted to be back in my apartment, watching that trashy reality show about the people who renovate houses in the desert. I could almost hear the theme song playing in my head while I counted teeth. Then the lights in the unit flickered and died. Total absolute darkness. I heard him move, the scrape of his heavy boots on the concrete. I threw the flashlight. It wasn't a great aim, but I heard a grunt. I didn't wait to see if it hit him. I just ran. I didn't look for the exit. I just sprinted toward where I thought the door was, tripping over crates, hearing those damn clocks all synchronized, ticking like a heartbeat in the dark. I eventually burst out into the parking lot. I didn't call the police. I don't know why. I think I was terrified they'd find my fingerprints on the crates and link me to the IDs. I drove home like a maniac. I live on the 4th floor and I swear every shadow in the stairwell looked like Greg. I got inside, locked the deadbolt and collapsed. I didn't even turn on the lights. I just sat on the kitchen floor breathing, waiting for the panic to stop. But then I heard the clicking. The same synchronized ticking from the unit. I looked up and he was there. I don't know how he got inside. I didn't hear the door, and the windows were locked. He was clutching his stomach where I'd hit him with the flashlight. Or maybe he'd been cut on the broken crates. I don't know, it was just dark. He didn't attack. He just slumped against the pantry, sliding down until he hit the floor with a wet thud. He started reaching into his jacket and I thought, this is it, he's got a gun. I lunged for the kitchen knife, the big serrated one I use for bread, and I didn't even think. I just acted. I don't remember the actual strike. I just remember the sound of the knife hitting the floorboards. He didn't yell. He didn't fight back. He just leaned his head against the cabinet and said, "You were supposed to be the one to keep them ticking. And now I'm sitting here, watching the neighbor's cat lap up the Gatorade, and the ticking is coming from my own coat pocket. I haven't reached in yet. I'm terrified of what I'm going to find. If it's a clock, that's one thing. But if it's something else." I hear a siren in the distance, but it's getting quieter, like it's moving away from the building. Did I lock the front door? I think I did. I remember the turn of the key, the metallic click, but maybe that was just the sound of a clock resetting itself in my head. There's a notification on my phone screen which I thought was dead, but it just lit up with a text from an unknown number. It says, "Only 3 left to win." My hands are covered in stuff that isn't Gatorade, and I'm staring at Greg's face, and he looks almost peaceful, like he's finally off the clock. I keep thinking about the turkey sandwich from earlier. How the sprouts were so soggy they were basically mush. Why can I only focus on the sprouts? If the police come, what am I going to tell them? That he broke in to fix my memories? The ticking in my pocket is getting louder. It's not a mechanical sound anymore. It sounds organic. Like a pulse. I'm scared to move, but I'm more scared to stay still. Should I open the pocket? Or should I just walk out the front door and leave everything exactly as it is? Walk until the city lights turn into fields, and never look back at this kitchen again? I don't think I could make it past the lobby though. I have this strange feeling that if I leave, the ticking will stop, and if the ticking stops, well, I don't think I want to know what happens to me then. My cat is still licking the floor. He looks up at me, his eyes wide and yellow, and for a second I swear he blinks in a sequence. 3 short, 1 long. Just like the clocks in the unit. I wonder if Greg was the one who trained him, or if he was just another thing that needed to be wound. My phone just buzzed again. 2 more. It's down to 2. I don't know what's in the pocket, and I don't know if I want to keep living in a world where I'm suddenly the one responsible for the time. Everything feels so quiet now, except for that sound. Ticking, ticking, ticking. I think I'm going to reach in now. I have to see. Or maybe I should just stay on this floor forever, waiting for the next notification to tell me what to do. The blood is starting to pool near my shoe, and I notice for the first time that the grout in my kitchen is really, really dirty. I should have cleaned that ages ago. It's almost funny, isn't it? Dying in a mess you didn't even make, worrying about the stains on the floor instead of the fact that your own heart is starting to sound exactly like the rhythm of those clocks.